This is Roski Mascani here with Brother Iration. Brother Iration is at the moment doing something, so he's going to listen in while I interview this wonderful person, Brother Asah. He's a youth swim coach, a positive community member, and I could safely say that he's an overall great person. So, Brother Asah, what can you add to this introduction? And then tell us more about yourself, please.
All right, thank you, Brother Ross. My name is Nana Asah Yao. I received that name when I went to Africa in the country of Ghana. And one of the Ashanti kings, we had a naming ceremony. And Nana is a title. It's a title in the African traditional groups, tribes. And this is the Ashanti king, and we had a naming ceremony, and I received that name. Asah is actually the king's name. It means ruler, and Yao is child born on Wednesday. Yeah, I've been coaching swimming for a long, long time, since I was 17 years old. I really was motivated to coach swim because I didn't see any black kids getting coached properly. You know, I was lucky enough to be on the local swim team when I was a kid, junior lifeguard and stuff. And when I got older and wanted to be a lifeguard and stuff, the kids just didn't seem to have the same programs we did when I was a kid, right? So I said, okay, let me see what I can do with these kids. And I've been coaching ever since. And I enjoy it. It's a positive thing. It really made me feel good that to bring a group of black kids to the swim meet and see them compete at the same level and able to win and perform. And improve over time, right? Because it takes a long time. It takes a lot of work, consistent training. And I see, it's really kind of lucky for me, I see these kids grow, they develop, they get older, they get out the system, they get married, they have children, they come back to me.
So, can I ask you how many years you've been coaching youth swimmers?
42 years.
Wow, 42 years.
Yeah, right? Yeah, I started when I was 17, yeah. And mostly with the LA counties, but I've been around town, like the YMCA, YWCA, the high school, Morningside, Inglewood, Valley High School, Fremont High School. I've been around town.
Wow.
But,
you are to be commended, man, for that effort. And I understand now you have your own swim team. What's the name of your swim team?
My swim team name is Revolution Aquatics, and there's a story behind that name. I was working for LA County for many, many years, and I don't know how many people have experienced this similarities, I suppose, but I was in ceremony to the release from the county aquatics department unjustly. And I had a very large team over there, and we were doing well. No one was complaining about me, and I think they just decided they had enough of me and decided to let me go. But I was very upset because the community loved me, and they needed me, and I wasn't going to go anywhere. So that happened, and I fortunately, I had been preparing for this, and I saw the signs, and I had on paper created Revolution Aquatics. And the name Revolution came when I was trying to decide on what to call it, opening a 501c, filing all the papers, and doing all that, incorporation and everything. I had to have a name. And I felt like I was in rebellion. I was in rebellion to what was going down, and I just decided, look up on a thesaurus. I said, what could it be? What could it be? What could it be? And I typed in rebel because I was rebellious. and a whole bunch of words popped up, and one of them was revolution. And I said, revolution? That's exactly how I feel. And this stuff got to change, right? So I moved forward with revolution. I felt really good about it. And it's been 2 years. We were working out at Gardena Y, and well, first we tried Compton, my hometown, Compton, and I didn't really get any love in my hometown. So I got a little full time though. That was a start, and that's how I got my USA swimming team charter. But it was inconsistent, and I had to go. So we have to pay rent, pool time at Gardena Y, and now we went to Wyandotte Y, and we're surviving. We got somewhere around 15 to 20 kids at any one time on the team, and it's been a little struggle sometimes. But I have collected some very good parents from the city of Compton, mostly some in Carson and some in LA. But what I'm trying to do is create a revolutionary attitude with my swimmers and my parents. So, and this sort of happened organically. We were at a swim meet, and this whole attitude I have about the revolution, it culminated. Well, at a swim meet we had a conversation under our canopy, and I said, oh, I know what it was. We also want to do water polo and diving, right? So I all these things I was doing at the county team, I wanted to recreate with Revolution. So it was last summer, and the kids wanted to play water polo, but I said, well, we don't have a pool to water polo at. But one of the swimmers' older sister works in the county. Everybody to sign up for their polo practice over where her sister works. And you can be the county team, but you're going to be revolutionaries, but you're going to be undercover. And you're going to be going to the county team, and you're going to play water polo that way because since we can't do it on our own, we have to do it by any means necessary. And that became our team slogan.
Well,
I drill this into the kids.
Well, see, that's what we're about, Brother Iration and I. We're about revolutionizing the way we think as a ethnic group. The Africans, people of African descent. We take on that philosophy too. We want to revolutionize the way we think, and I think that's great that you came up with that.
Yeah. And I got to do it with the kids, right? And the thing about it, they're not all black kids, but freedom and justice applies to everybody. So our team cheer, and it took a while the kids to warm up to it. Our team cheers, I'd say, like get up before the swim meet, and you're going to do a team cheer. Well, our team cheer is fist up. And we're in a circle, right? We all fist up, and we say, and I say, freedom and justice, and all the kids say, by any means necessary. That is our team cheer.
Oh, that's wonderful.
And so we've got this started, it's a very fledgling thing, but we're starting to get some traction, and then COVID hit, right?
Yes. And you know what? Coach, that's going to be my next question. So you want to go straight into that?
Well, yeah, I want, but COVID hit, and everybody's out the water. Everybody is stopped, right?
Yes.
So all of our things going forward is just dead in the water, and we, no one knew what to do. I'm calling other coaches, nothing's happening. So I had already gotten started with Zoom. So the team, just to keep it alive, after about a week or two of being locked down, we started a one-day-a-week Zoom class with the team. And it's been going on ever since the COVID started. And so, yeah, we were sliding into COVID let me just say this. So I've used the Zoom platform to advance the revolution. Okay? Because that's what I call it, advance the revolution. When I'm doing something, I ask myself, is this advance the revolution? So in these are actually exercise meetings we do once a week, but it's more than just exercise. It allows the kids to stay in touch with me and each other. And in the meeting, like this, we do all our exercises. In the last 10 minutes, for the last, I guess as long as we've been doing this, I've had homework assignments for them. And we started with the preamble to the Constitution. Okay.
Wow.
So, and this is a last-minute exercise thing. And I said, okay, because everybody got a phone. I said, somebody type in preamble to the Constitution. And I had them read it, right? So one of the kids reads it, and they're stumbling over a few words and stuff. And when they get to liberty, I say, stop. What does that mean, right? So we look up liberty and da-da-da-da-da. Okay, continue. And then it gets to justice, I say, stop. What does that mean? And so we talk about justice. And so I've been planting seeds, right? So every week since, we read another amendment to the Bill of Rights, right?
Okay.
Freedom of speech, freedom to own a gun, freedom for assembly, all this stuff, right? And we just did the sixth one, the sixth amendment. So, because I don't really remember going through this in school.
Oh, no. Yeah, I don't think that's really, it's probably covered, but I don't know how in depth teachers go into it. Right. Yeah. But
I'll tell you, now this is where we get into all this stuff that's happening in the streets and whatnot. So there are seeing people protest, and we had just started this. And so I could reference the things they see on TV, all the Black Lives Matter, the George Floyd, all of that. I was like, this is what this is about. That's why they protest. And they have freedom of speech. It's really a nice little way to get in touch with the kids and educate them at the same time. So yeah, but see, I don't know if I'd be doing this like this if COVID didn't hit.
Yeah, well,
it's creating a little cottage industry for me right now. I got a diving class that's going on Zoom, kind of because of COVID. So we decided to, the same. When life serves you lemons, you make lemonade. So that's what we're doing, man. Nothing can stop the revolution.
Well, see, that's the genius of you. And you said you just keep going. You say that again. What you say about the revolution? The revolution does what?
The revolution. You can't stop the revolution.
You can't stop it.
Because the revolution. This is why. You can't stop it because the revolution is in your mind. If you believe in the revolution, and that's another thing I gotta tell you. You're not a revolution. What makes you a revolutionary is you believe in the revolution. And what is the revolution about? Freedom, justice, and equality.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. Hey, that's so.
I built that whole philosophy into the team.
Yeah, but
I don't call them slummers. I call them revolutionaries.
Yeah, but earlier you said something about you personally. It was another way you use revolution. You said it.
Freedom and justice by any means necessary. Is that my man?
Yeah, you said something else though. Like when you're presented with another challenge, the revolution does something. You said, what did you say?
The revolution, we do things by any means necessary.
You do it by any means necessary, but we were talking about this before I started the interview, and matter of fact, well, it'll probably come back up. I don't want to get stuck on that.
Yeah.
So let me go ahead and move forward here. What are your views of COVID-19? How do you view it?
Man, I believe it was deliberately set because of the world world issues, and I've heard so many things, right? But this didn't just happen. This was, I've heard a lot of things like it came from the university on the East Coast, and then it got to China, and then, how does China just happen to release it into the population? I don't think it happened because somebody ate a bat or something like that. It probably happened to the vaccinations that I had no proof. But if they wanted to spread a pandemic, how would you do it? So, that's all my speculation. I'm no expert or nothing, but this appears to be man-made, and it's doing exactly what they wanted to do, shut down the economy.
Okay.
But it's at a huge expense. People are really losing their jobs. My buddy just got fired. So,
wow.
I'm lucky, though. I'm probably the luckiest guy on earth. I retired 5 years ago. The money I make coaching them, really, it's not used to pay the bills, not normally. But the fact that I'm able to do what I love to do without having to work a regular job is a real blessing. I paid my dues, though.
Yes, I would say that you're being rewarded by your work, your humble community activism when it comes to, looking out for the kids. That's all, you're getting your due reward, from all of your hard work and your...
I can't tell you how good I feel about some of these moments with the kids. I was at the beach last Sunday, and, there's some brand new revolutionaries. We're doing the races on the beach, they're like 5 years old. But that's how you got to start them, man. You got to get them when they're impressionable like that, and they'll do anything you tell them. You want to raise them to be decent, hardworking human beings, and I just want to add my little twist, a little bit of constitutional law that doesn't help at the same time.
Yeah.
It doesn't hurt at the same time. So I'm lucky. I'm really lucky, and the thing about the revolution is that I'm already convinced that this is going to be successful. I'm not giving up. It kind of fuels me every day. Even though we have a lot of hurdles, there's some large goals. Okay, one of the goals for the revolution is Olympic swimmer in 2028. Now, that's LA Olympics. It's not really that far-fetched. A lot of things got to happen. We got to get another pool. Hopefully we'll get Southwest College. I'm working really hard on that. But COVID, another effect of COVID, all of the community colleges, Los Angeles community colleges are locked down. None of them are open. And so no access to facilities. But by any means necessary, the revolution has continued. I have to make adjustments. I'm not charging the kids, for being on the revolution. But we've taken advantage of this Zoom opportunity and started a diving exercise program. And I got a few kids in that, and that seems to be doing well.
Okay.
So that one is just an expansion of the revolution. We're expanding into diving right now. And once we get a pool, we'll be expanding into water polo. I'm just got to bide my time and do what we can by any means necessary while this COVID is happening.
Okay. Well, now, what is the impact of George Floyd's death?
Man. Well, the whole world saw that, right? If we didn't have video all over the place, we'd probably not have heard about it. That's the difference these days. The video, cameras, and social media, and it goes all over the world in a matter of seconds. And that's what I think the United States has to feel international pressure on what's going on. you know what it looks like? It looks like the militarization of the police department. The other thing is, you know, I was always worried about it here in Compton. I used to go to Starbucks every day, right? And the sheriff would be there. And I was like, are there any black sheriffs? You know, I'm like, I see sheriffs all over the place, man, and not one black one. And I'm like, this doesn't seem right, you know. So one day I found, I was in there and I found a black sheriff, and I'm like, man, how come there ain't so many black sheriffs? Well, you know, you could tell that he wasn't too comfortable talking about it, you know, the other sheriffs around and whatnot. So, but he says there has to be people who want to be police, that be sheriff, right? And I guess, I don't know, black young people are not choosing to be sheriff. I don't know. Maybe this could be anything. A lot of young black men have records, and maybe that disqualifies them.
Well, you know, one thing I think that we need to take a look at is we need to police ourselves, and once we can get some type of philosophy and in a way of thinking where it's not so much imitating the type of environment that we're in right now, then we can get into policing once we have a mindset change. We need to change the way we think. And I'm going to keep reiterating that. Yeah, because as long as we take on the personality of the people who oppresses us, we're just furthering the oppression. I think it's mathematics. It's got to be mathematics. So, yeah, go ahead. I just wanted to add that.
Yeah, man. The police, you know, okay, this is the problem. You call the police for something like a welfare check, right? And so this is I forget what state this happened in, but it's that girl who was in their house with her brother or something playing video games. The front door was open.
Yeah, I remember that. I can't recall it. She's a young lady. Yeah.
Over, and they were coming out with the gun, you know, with holding the gun, right? But it's supposed to be for a welfare check. So maybe we call the police too quick, right? Or maybe there's a fight. I mean, you know, I'm saying a domestic fight, and you call the police, right? Well, the police are you know, they're going to stop any action, and then somebody can get hurt, right? Because they're not there to settle an argument. You know, it's like it's too much for the situation. Now, when things are out of hand, yeah, you do need to call the police, right? But remember, you're bringing a third party in who don't know what's going on, and things can escalate very easily when the police are.
Yeah, how they interpret the situation, yeah.
Yeah, you know, like a bull in a china closet. You know, they break things and shoot people, right? So, you know, I think being able to police ourselves a little bit is good. I think in Ghana, they have the politicians, right? But they also have the system of kings, you know, and so the kings actually have a system of justice, you know, within itself before they have to go to, you know, the police or the government.
Oh, so they have like more of a local.
They have a traditional hierarchy as well as a political hierarchy in the police, you know. So, you know, they do funerals and ceremonies, you know, whatever the people need, right? Because they're responsible. They have an official position. Now, that was the king that we met in Ghana, in Accra, and quite a soft-spoken fellow, but you could tell he was pretty heavy. he would tell us culturally what's going on. One thing that impressed me is that he said, we have no teenage pregnancy here.
Oh.
And I'm like, wow, that's big in itself. I didn't get all into how they culturally make that happen, but that's one of the problems we have here that's messing us up, teenage pregnancies. And, they also talk about fathers not in the home. Well, if you're killing them, that's one reason. If they're incarcerated, that's another reason.
Yeah.
It's a sad state of affairs here in the United States. In Africa, they have their challenges, but they have their own language and they have their own traditions that go way back, and that helps.
Yeah,
that helps keep them strong.
Well, when you have a cultural base that you could draw from, it helps. When you look at the United States and the Africans here, which were enslaved, their cultural base was kind of taken from them through the slavery process. So your cultural base draws from getting beat, getting killed, free labor, scraps of food. You get thrown scraps of foods from the slave masters, and then you start developing an inferior cultural base, and then all of a sudden, all you got to do is walk around today, and you can see the fruits of their labor and how out of touch we are with self. And that's you speak of. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, my thing was like, I lost the train of thought. No, go ahead with your next question. They'll come back to me.
Okay, well, I'm going to move on to the next question. It says, what is your worldview of people of African descent, black people in general? What is your worldview of us?
Okay, interesting question. Well, I kind of would consider myself a Pan-Africanist, or someone who was at least reaching across the pond to get to know what's happening in Africa, right? But it wasn't until my Africa visit that I really understood the miseducation. Growing up Christian, Catholic Christian, you learn to, the worldview of a Christian and God and all that stuff. And then you start, because I was to Rastafarianism for quite a while. I still kind of like to listen to the things that the Rastafarians have to say on going back to Africa and everything. And it's a spiritual component to it, right? So you have to. I don't think, although my wife would want to go to Africa permanently, but I don't think I'm going to move to Africa. But in my mind, I've learned to understand where we are, and as a result of everything that happened. But in my mind, I'm in line with the Africans. Like in my family, there was a lot of miscegenation that went on in Louisiana, right? And you kind of grow up, you say you're Creole or something like that, and then you go to the Black Power movement and everybody's black. I'm like, well, it's a little confusing.
Yeah.
But I think that's part of the problem.
Yeah, and that
all this is very confusing.
Yeah.
That's why the question. That's why you asked me the question, because it is confusing. And then you're talking about like the Dominicans. They don't consider themselves black, even though they look like Africans. And then you got the Brazilians, who are all some degree of black, but in Latin America they got a different view of all of this. But in the grand scheme of things, it looks like the black race gets the short end of everything in every society. Why is that? It's just because of the color of your skin?
Well,
It's got to be more
yeah,
to it, right?